Witness testimony, illegal entry. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gas door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, called Blimey Lammy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet. Oh wow, their animations are so cute though. That's adorable. A terrible coincidence it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. Okay. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. Very sus, yes. Very, very sus. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Yes, I will. Why is he so uptight all of a sudden? Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Runo? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I knew that is all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. Yes, he did. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. Because we encountered them. They were probably the ones that we encountered, right? So we'll see. Illegal entry. Let's do this. We were walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gaff's door. I don't know what gaff is, but okay. But the shop door was ajar, see? Press. The front door of Windy Banks was ajar, you say? What time of night was this? Must have been around 1. Right, Ringo? Yeah, I say so. Right, Skulky? What? Why are you asking him? How would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Saki, me old marker? Leave me alone. Oh my god, Gregson. There definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when this gentleman ventured into the open establishment, the accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of a gun trained on the unfortunate victim. That is pure conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. Okay. It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was. Okay. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself as the whim of thieves, does it? Jeez. It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Nash, it weren't, like we said at the time. You don't just find doors open in the middle of the night like that. There's no two ways about it. It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside. Are you serious? You just because you see a shop door open, you think that your third brother is somewhere inside that shop? So coincidentally, really? They're not very good liars, are they? Yes, they are not. Well, you can't deny it.
It led us to block what looks just like our breath.
I said, cut it out. Those chips are getting a chomping today. Yes, those fish and chips are gonna get eaten really, really hard. Poor things. Oh, but once we got inside, called Blimey Lamy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. Okay. A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that?
Yep, just the one, Governor. I can swear to that. It was, Nash, it was. Is that right, bruv?
Don't keep looking at Gregson. Gregson has nothing to do with this. The firearm used belonged to the victim himself.
Yes, Mr. Widibank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter.
Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. Okay.
That makes sense. Mr. Widibank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded.
Yes, he did. Like, even during our conversations, he did say that there was only ever one bullet. And he was threatening to shoot himself with it, which was not very nice. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon. Okay. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Okay. Wonderful. Yes, thanks Van Zix, thanks. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. Okay. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Wow, don't insult me like that, Zix. Jeez. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door, that of the storeroom. Yep. I mean that's what we seem to be going for so far, that there's only one door. So okay.
Cause there was only a little oil lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was either behind a curtain or...
That's right. Okay, the door was hidden behind the curtain, yes. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Oh, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you'd have to say we ain't normal, eh?
These guys are terrible at lying, what the heck? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Van Zix just constantly delivering the burns, thanks. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Poor Ryu though. Thank you, counsels. So, I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. Okay, let's see. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that nice and quiet. Okay, why is he so panicky about this? You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam sooner as printed. It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have time to pull me dukes out of me Lucy lockets.
So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
That's right, Governor. Nothing we hate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. Yeah, Nash, yeah. Never even put me dukes out me Lucy lockets.
So, you'd clearly like us to believe.
Eh? Come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say?
Ah!
What?
Blimey, Governor. You telling us it was you in the doorway?
Oh, they just exposed themselves. Okay. It was.
Why the bleeding Nora? Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. At London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes? I did hear that actually. There was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Oh. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. Okay. Okay, this is the gun then. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. Okay. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Oh, the Skulkin brothers' gun. A firearm found in the possession of the Skulkin brothers upon their arrest. There are signs that a single round was fired, okay?
He pours some wine, I will pour some water for myself.
Now, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence.
What?
For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. What? How am I even going to present that? Well, I don't need evidence. Because I was there. Unfortunately, that can't stand up as actual testimony, I think. However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on.
Wow, that's not nice.
Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Winniebanks that night. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker shop that night?
Oh. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker shop that night? Well, I mean, let's take a look at this first. Okay. So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of these revolver's 6 cylinders. Okay.
Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it.
Okay. Exactly.
The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes, it happened almost as soon as we'd walked in through Winniebank's door. Oh man. I'll make those brothers pay.
Oh.
Oh man, Iris.
It's okay. So they mentioned something about gunpowder burn, right? Or is it like gunpowder residue on the thing? It seems like that's the only thing. Okay.
What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbrokers that night?
Okay. Let's see. Do I have anything? Okay, what's this again? Oh. Oh wait, I didn't even notice that this was here.
I, the undersigned, agree to legal representation by the lawyer named here under in regard to the following incident. Defendant Gina Lestrade, alleged offense, murder of Baker Street pawnbroker. Date of trial today, 10 AM. Attorney-in-law Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay. I didn't even notice this was here. Blood samples. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm? Okay. Unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker shop that night. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, the thing is, okay, these two guns show evidence that it was fired, but I think they want specifically evidence that it was fired that night, right? So, I'm guessing it's this because there's gunpowder. There's probably gunpowder residue that they say, and they were captured shortly after, right? So, I guess I just have to present it back. Maybe let's try it. The evidence is this. Yeah, okay, it wasn't. Okay, nope. You perplex me, counsel, by looking so pleased with yourself despite this quite displeasing answer. I'm sorry, Judge. Ah. My learned friend has a knack for it, my lord. It seems presenting nothing as though it was something is a favorite trick of the Nipponese conjurer. I'm not a freaking magician, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryu. I didn't mean to. Well, I think it takes a certain genius to give such a completely wrong answer, personally. Iris, do you mind to not insult me too? The kind of genius I could really do without. Time to think again. Okay. Okay. Yes, I need to... What evidence shows that these witnesses loaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? Hang on, let me take a look at this. Oh, oh my god, this was the thing. There's a freaking shot here. Oh my god, I forgot about this evidence. Oh god, I'm so dumb. Jeez, okay. It's probably this, let me try. Is it? Oh, it's not. Maybe not. Oh wait, it is. The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth have you there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, anyway, we analysed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? What sample shows the man fired a shot in the pawnbrokery? Well, I mean, it's just this, isn't it? This one. Because of the shot on that thing. What is that? Explain. It's a photographic print taken at Windybank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Ooh. Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, it is. Yes, as your lordship noticed. The bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. Yes, that's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from the gun in the pawnbrokers that night. I should really review my evidence more carefully next time. I forgot about that. Jeez. Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks?
Yes, Van Zieks? Drink some wine. I shall drink some water.
If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. Wait, really? What?
Oh no!
First cup gone. But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes.
What is happening?
Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street.
Eh? Take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't gonna get into them details. Tell him, Sulky. Set up look straight.
I have nothing to add. Yes. Good job, Gregson. Good job. Just throw that under the bus. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. The problem is, this changes nothing, right? Because ultimately the case is about who fired that shot. And we are essentially proving that while they fired a shot, they did not fire it at the victim. So yeah, it would seem now that I owe my learned Japanese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. Precisely, right? Like I said. So we essentially help prove that they fired a shot at us. But the case ultimately is still about whether or not Gina fired a shot at the victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it.
Oh, what? That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it.
They missed every single thing, but they still did it at the end. Good job.
We didn't, Nash. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalogue, fellas?
They're in for it now, bruv.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Okay.
Eccentric says who?
Oh no, you just don't piss off Iris. Van Zieks, you have to be careful. Not me. Don't give me that look. Jeez. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
The camera, I think? What is that, Counsel? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Okay. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. 8 PM. 8:30, sorry. 9. 9:30. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. Okay, so one is facing the counter where Mr. Windybank is on, and one is kind of facing close enough to the entrance of the shop. Close enough. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Okay.
Hehe, that's a bit of riot talk, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves Skulkin.
Yes, you too. Witnesses, at what time did your trespassing begin?
Eh? Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Oh my god, Gina, why are you doing that? Good lord! Uh-oh. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade. Why? Oh, being caught on camera like that is not gonna help the case. This is bad, as the court can clearly see. The accursed? No, I'm sorry. The accused is pictured gun in hand facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his store. Okay. Quite, one can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. The photograph of Gina, a photograph taken automatically by the red-handed recorder, showing the scene a short time before the murder took place. Okay.
I don't believe it, Ginny.
In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. Oh, this is not going to help the case. This is very bad now. Oh, I say, my lord, who is this? Oh. Wonder if I might put in a word at this point. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a body bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maiwan, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service sadly. Cause a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield, and I can't stop staring at the maid with my side eyes. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. Do you mind to stop staring at the bed? That's creepy. And we'll all go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. Oh, are we gonna move into that phase now? The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Garridap Squadron's position, sir. What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, man. On the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too. I think the final truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I just wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
What?
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
Thank you.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky.
What?
Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
有罪
有罪
有罪有罪
有罪
Oh,
有罪
uh-oh. Of course, right? Oh! Jury number 4 just uses his head to bang the button instead. I just saw that. That's silly. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. That photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. But Ginny didn't shoot him. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Very well, the court grants permission. Yes. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. Of course, I'm not gonna admit defeat this early, please. We shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready?
Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
Okay, let's do this.